Well, shit, that went faster than expected. I was gonna use the loading screen as an intro, but you know, just give you an opinion of it. Because not. So, welcome everybody to the first set, I guess, of the Europa Universalis III Divine Wind. I'm not sure how exactly I'm gonna play this, since it's a grand strategy game, meaning it takes a long time and exciting shit doesn't happen all the time, or most of the times. Europa, as I said, Europa Universalis is a grand strategy game taking place in the Middle Ages, basically starting from October 14, 1399. I'm gonna play as England because I suck at the game, and England is fairly easy but also difficult. France is actually better, even though it in theory has less territory. It has more provinces and more cores. Also a lot of vassals. All of these guys inside France are vassals. I tried playing... crap, I don't have the save anymore. Shit. Last time I played as England, I went to, you know, on my conquest of Europe. Basically, since France always declares war on you, you can fuck it shit up if you're careful. Although in a direct fight, France will kick England's ass, since they have better troops. Let's go with that. They have more. They are more specialized in ground combat, while England is a balanced naval and land empire kingdom. The Kingdom of England, ruled by King Henry IV of Lancaster. Economy, crap. The problem I ran into as England last time was that while I did expand, I went as far as to actually get a short province covering the Mediterranean, which helps my navy a lot, and getting all of this place here, of the provinces of the English Channel, was that while I was busy pounding France into the dirt, Burgundy became a juggernaut. It was huge. So every 5 years Burgundy would start a war against me. I would lose all my provinces along the core. I couldn't actually fight them in a stand-up fight, because every time I tried with my 30,000 men, or 45,000 men, that's 3 armies each of 15,000 men. Burgundy brought about 65,000 troops, so in a direct fight they kicked my ass. So I had to pull back, let them take all my provinces, and then fight in Brittany, which I also conquered. So I had this entire area conquered, and I also united the United Kingdom, obviously, all of it, including this place here, Orkney. But yeah. So there was a place in Brittany here where you have massive defensive bonuses. So after Burgundy spreads out, I would invade here and fight a defensive battle, which would wipe out Burgundy's army. Unfortunately, it would cost me dearly, so I couldn't actually profit from that, and Burgundy would remake its army pretty fast. So yeah, we're not gonna do that anymore. Frankly, I'll just abandon Europe. I really am planning on abandoning it. I'm gonna make some vassals, and I'll expand to Norway, Sweden, and Lapland, and of course Reykjavik, Iceland. And then maybe, I don't know, take the Baleares from Aragon, so I have a base in the Mediterranean. But yeah, I will not get myself in another battle in Western Europe, because A, it's either gonna be France that's gonna oppose me, B, it's either gonna be Burgundy that opposes me, or C, it's probably gonna be one of these fucking guys in the Holy Roman Empire. And if I piss any one of them up, the Emperor gets pissed, and he has a shit ton of army at his disposal. no matter who he is, they get a bonus to recruiting capabilities. Usually it's Austria or Bohemia. And Austria is an asshole. I'm sorry to all my Austrian friends, which I don't have, by the way. But maybe I'll make some. But your country in Europa Universalis is an asshole. Not only will they expand against Hungary, they'll also expand from here to all over this place. In Italy, they'll go up, they'll fucking expand every fucking where. I could play as the Ottoman Empire, which is also one of my favorites. I could play as Wallachia, because hey, it's a paradox grand strategy. You can play as whatever you want. You can play as Shagatai or Timurids, Horde. Basically, you don't want to play as hordes. They're difficult to manage. You can play as China. You can play as Japan or the Japanese shogun. Daimyo, I mean. Play as Korea. But again, the fun is in Europe, okay? Obviously, there's fun to be had here, but after a while, you may find that even if you conquer in China, United, everything under your read, these assholes in Western Europe are gonna come with gunpowder and fuck your shit up. Because you have Celestial Empire and different technologies. Usually Western Europe advances the fastest and they get the best troops later on. At the start, the Ottoman Empire has the best troops, as far as I know. They're better than Eastern Europe, which are inferior to Western Europe, and they're better than Western Europe's. The problem with the Ottoman Empire is twofold. It also has benefits. For one thing, it has a better economy than England. It's a military powerhouse, a good diplomatic country, and it has a lot of territory to expand. You'll either expand against these guys, since they have your cores early on. You can expand against the hordes by colonizing the provinces they have without actually declaring war. And you can advance against the Christians without any issue. Why do I say it's easy to expand? You cannot declare war without a good reason in Europa Universalis. If you do that, you lose stability because you're an asshole. So you need reasons to go to war with somebody. You also are going to gain infamy depending on what you choose to do with an enemy. If you annex them and you don't have a good reason, you're gonna lose a lot more infamy if you had the conquer objective on them. You'll see that when I play it. England, however, is gonna fuck me up. Let's finish with the Ottomans, huh? Jumping around, yes. So, the problem with the Ottoman Empire is, as I said, twofold. One, these fucking Timurids. The Khans and other hordes will always be at war with you. You can make a temporary truce with them after a while, but they'll, be at war with you. They also have a lot of cavalry, and early on cavalry is really powerful. And the only way to actually get territory for them is to colonize the area. You can't beat the crap out of them and then demand them in a peace treaty. They are not that organized. The second problem is England and Castile. One of these assholes, if you're playing as the Ottomans, is gonna become the defender of Christianity, right? And if you fight too many wars against Christians, which you have to do, you need to take Byzantium, you need to beat Epirus, take Athens from Venice, take Montenegro, take Ragusa, fight off Hungary, vassalize Wallachia, beat Poland. You're gonna have to do a lot of fighting against Christians. If you don't fight against Christians, they'll fight against you, so that's the only problem. So after a while, either Castile or England is gonna come invade your fucking shit. And if England invade your shit, you're fucked. Your navy consists mostly of... what the hell was they?